Hello, girl in red here. These are records in my life.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just drinking some kombucha. Just finished another interview. Just gave my dog some food. She's out there eating, having the time of her life, probably in that bowl. But yeah, I'm good.
You're pretty perky. Where are you these days?
I'm in Oslo, Norway, in my apartment, which that's my pants. That's my fingerboard ramp. I have a very messy apartment right now. Messy times. But, I'm living my best life.
That's fantastic. You have a piano in your living room. It's all there. All the music's at your fingertips.
Yes, exactly. And I have a microphone right here also.
Thank you so much for being on Records in My Life. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's you must be really excited because your new record, if I could make it go quiet,
It's out soon.
Is out in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the record, who you collaborated with, and all that exciting stuff.
It's written and produced by me and co-produced with Matthias Telles, who is a Norwegian studio engineer and producer and musician. Great guy, love him. We met in February for the first time last year, and I absolutely fell in love with that man. So I wanted to do with my album with him, and when everything shut down, it was just like, of course, we're just gonna finish it here. That makes sense. And then I had Phineas on Serotonin. He collabed with me on that track, and it's just it was hell making it, and it was hilariously great making it. It was a bunch of different feelings. It was definitely a long process, but I feel like where it ended up is at a somewhere presentable place.
Sure. I mean, the record, it's a departure for you. Because your stuff was, you're self-taught. We'll get into that later, but you're a self-taught producer. You made a lot of your records, previous records, I think all of them, in your on your own.
It was cool. Like, what was the coolest thing was that they were like, "You're a really great producer," and I was like, "Thanks." And I've been doubting myself for so long, just musically. I've been having the biggest time with imposter syndrome, being like, "I don't really know what I'm doing," and kind of I hope nobody ever figures out that I don't know what I'm doing. And I've kind of just been telling myself that I don't know what I'm doing, and then I've just been hearing that, Marie, you're a really, really great producer, and Matthias, he was like, "You are a true artist," and he was just being really honest and really real with me, and just saying that you are a producer and you are really, really talented. And yeah, just hearing, same from Phineas, saying that, he really, really likes the track that I made, I think is super dope. So it was definitely a real serotonin boost hearing that from other people, and kind of coming to terms with that I'm actually a musician and I need to stop telling myself I'm not.
Well, sure, of course, because you play pretty much everything and you produce. That's a true musician. Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot here about the new record. Do you have a favorite song or track you're most proud of?
Yeah, that's a Sophie's choice right there. But I usually I really can't pick usually, but one some tracks that I keep listening to myself, even though the album isn't out, I just keep listening to Body and Mind, the third track. I listen to that a lot. I think the vocals are so dope. I think the production is really cool. And also, I think it's track 8 or something. I think that's called Apartment 402. That song, I know it's called Apartment 402. I don't think so. I know so. And I've been listening to that a lot as well. So I really do love it all. But those are definitely some, I'd be playing those on repeat right now.
Terrific. Thank you again for being on Records on My Life. This song is about you, the artist, and the records that have inspired you. So we've just talked about that you are self-taught. I mean, you learn how to produce and play music. And so what, give us a couple of records that inspired you, especially, I mean, not only on the musical, so it's like a 2 record answer, I guess, but from a production point of view.
I feel like there wasn't like even like a record that I listened to and I was like, I want to make these sounds because I kind of I kind of I've never been like a lot of people ask me like what my like musical inspiration was and like what did I listen to get inspired by this, and usually like it doesn't like I don't know, I'm usually just like inspired by people, and I feel like um one thing that inspired me in the middle of this process when like Taylor Swift put out her record Folklore, and I was like, Taylor Swift is like doing something completely different right now, and that to me was like really inspiring, even though none of my album kind of sounds like Taylor Swift's Folklore, but just the fact that she was like, I'm making this completely different record than what I've done previously is kind of like what is inspires me to like be like, okay, this sounds different, but like I'm just gonna do it because it feels like Girl in Bed to me. So does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. But the name of the name of the show's Records of My Life, so you got to give us a couple of records that and you said that really well. It was quite eloquent. But tell us a couple of records that you really fell in love with as when you were much younger.
When I was much younger.
Sorry. Not much young. You're still young, younger, whatever. In your early career.
Oh, early career. Wait, there's this one record I was listening to a lot early last year. I think it's called A Museum of Contradiction by this artist called McGee. Have you heard that album?
I haven't heard the record, but sounds like I have to listen to it.
It's so good.
Okay.
That album, so many cool sounds, and it's kind of like I don't even know what genre it is. I'm not that very good with genres at all. I like Hollywood's Bleeding.
Hollywood is Bleeding, Post Malone.
Yeah, and When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go is a great album. Phoebe Bridgers, Punisher. I'm just saying all the records I like right now.
Those are fantastic. And didn't Post Malone start like recording as a bedroom project himself as well, or was he?
You know, it's real when it's a bedroom product. Then it's like you're industry plant straight out of the bedroom. But I honestly don't really know. But I think he's really cool because he just works really hard, and he also kind of has the same vibe as when it comes to his music sounding so different all the time. But it's kind of like it always sounds like Post Malone.
Would you're a producer? Would you like to produce one of his? Have you collaborated with him that we don't know, or would you like to produce with him? Or
Oh my God, I would love that. I just want to I really want to hang out with Post Malone.
okay, give us the scoop because you are still young. I said when you were younger earlier, but you're still young. Give of some artists, of some of your contemporaries, some records that you're really digging these days.
I'm still like that McGee record. I'm still very much loving. I like the new Arlo Parks record that came out earlier this year. I've been listening to Claud's new record, and I'm trying to look over to my record collection right now. I've been trying to get into jazz, and I don't even know all the names of these jazz records. I've been listening a lot to Beach House. Oh, I love Beach
Beautiful.
House.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yes. I'm waiting for a new album from them.
They can't make a bad record. The one record after another. It's beautiful.
Yes, I have like Teen and then Seven. I have a few records there. Depression Cherry. I do you have a vinyl record like player like a record?
Yes, I do. I do. And I love to listen to because everybody in the household loves Beach House because they're so easy listening and they're easy to listen to. Not easy listening, but easy to listen to. Because easy listening
It's good for
sounds.
our ears.
Yes, it's wonderful for our ears. Exactly. So, in your lovely apartment, God forbid you have to evacuate quickly and you've saved the cats and the family and whatever. You're allowed to run out with one record. Which, out of all the records you just mentioned, you can only take one. Which one do you? It's
Of all
so
the ones I
handy.
just mentioned.
Or any record in your collection you could save, and it's so handy. You could just look over your shoulder. That's great.
Oh my God. That's a really tough one. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go with like Depression Cherry because then I never get tired of that. And it's like sometimes I don't even know the words of like what are they singing. So it's not like I can pretty much apply all the songs to all of the future states of my life, because like whether if I'm really happy or really sad, you can play that song. It's just gonna be that album, and it will fit whatever situation that I might be going through. And I'm probably going to be really sad if my apartment that burns down. So, listening to Depression Cherry sounds like a good option.
Yeah, that's why I said God forbid. I'm not a religious man, but it's just kind of like, it's whoever's out there forbid.
I'm not a religious person either,
Wow.
but I have some really cool candles on my piano. That's kind of
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, that looks very, very nice. Have you seen the film School of Rock?
No,
With
but
Jack
I
Black.
bought it. I bought it for my friend for her birthday earlier this year on DVD because she loves that movie.
It's
But yes,
fantastic.
I started watching it and I felt like I stopped watching it because I didn't connect with it. But that was like 3 years ago, so maybe I should try again. Jack Black is iconic.
Yeah, the concept is he gets a job. He kind of, he scams his way into teaching kids music class. And so what album would you send your class home? I think they're like ages 11 and 12 or whatever. But what album would you send them home with on their first day to learn? It has to be it has to have some weight culturally, but also musically to grow the record collection and learn.
I was gonna say I wanted to give them like Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon, because I just wanted to like scare them a little bit. I just wanted them to be like I'm just imagining it would be really fun to just have a class and then just have like a bunch of like 11-year-olds and like 12-year-olds being like listening to like really heavy screamy music. But I'm not sure if that's the kind of record you were thinking.
If that's what you think, you're the teacher, you're in charge. So it works.
They're going to be listening to Bring the Horizon. They're going to be screaming, this Sempiternal, and just like headbanging.
Are there any these days? We're living in the world's a bit of we're living through some turbulent times. What's a good record to relax people a little bit, maybe open up their minds?
One record. Okay, so I'm not sure like what people do to when they relax, but because I've been listening. Okay, so actually another album. Okay, so I love 2 albums right now. I love Songs by Adrian Lenker.
Beautiful.
And I also love Crush by Floating Points, and those 2 are incredibly different albums. I'm not sure if you've heard Crush by Floating Points, but it's just like it's like Aphex Twin, but on that type of vibe.
Sure. Floating Points just released a record with that Crush. That's not the one with Pharoah Sanders that he just put out, is it? It's not the.
Wait, Crush is from 2019, but he just put out a new record. Yes.
Yeah.
With the jazz.
Pharoah Sanders. Yeah.
I haven't been listening to that one. I've just been going like walking my dog and just like wanting to just like dance and burst out and like while dancing on the street, which is something I've been doing a lot lately. Dancing out in the street is great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your energy and your enthusiasm and being on Records My Life. Just a couple more questions we like to ask all guests. Weed, wine, or water to listen to your favorite record and to write?
Oh, orange wine to listen to a record and also write any music. I'm deeply into orange wine recently. Like I am on that shit 24/7.
Fantastic. If you could have a cup of coffee with an artist, alive or dead, any artist, who would it be?
I want to have a cup of coffee with Phoebe Bridgers because I just love Stranger in the Alps and Punisher, and she seems like a really funny person. So I wanna hang out with her.
Yeah, great sense of humor. And finally, we like to ask all our guests some words of wisdom for your fans and our audience.
Words of wisdom. Oh my God. Okay. Communication is incredibly important in all of our relationships. that is something I am dealing with a lot recently, and I'm probably going to be dealing with it until the day I die and until the day I stop having relationships with people, which is probably the day I die, hopefully. Yes, communication, guys. It's hard, but it's key.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And keep well in Oslo. It's I love that city. I was there once. It's wonderful.
It's awesome here. I hope you're going to go back when you can, because the European energy in Oslo right now it's electric.
It looks fantastic. Thank you, and best of luck with the new release. We're very excited for you with the debut album, and we can't wait to see you live in Vancouver soon.
I've only been in Vancouver once, and that was because I had to take a boat over to an island. But I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. A great evening. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mark Henning, the other half of Records in My Life. Love it that you made it to the end of the video. Please leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you really dug the show, we'd love it if you'd consider supporting us over at patreon.com/RIMLTV. Cheers and see you next week.